Albert Breer in his snippets yesterday on SI wrote, I confirmed Mike Silver's report that the Browns got trade offers for Dillon Gabriel on the Saturday morning of draft weekend, which essentially confirms the interested teams were prepared to take him in.
Gabriel, all accounts are that he is going to play in this game. What are you looking for from him specifically?
Not much. And for context and to be fair, I had a 7th round grade on Dillon Gabriel and a late first, early 2nd round grade on Shedeur. And I think if Shedeur had been drafted in the 3rd round and Dillon Gabriel in the 5th, that will give the Browns an opportunity to only keep 3 quarterbacks. I think.
Like Shedeur Sanders was really good the other day. It wasn't perfect to start, but as a rookie to start the first preseason game of the year, you got to give like a little slack there. That's not easy. He overcame some stuff there and did really.
Gabriel's job security didn't just crack. It disappeared completely. It vanished faster than fans heading for the exits during a blowout, because Shedeur Sanders absolutely cooked the Panthers like he had the controller in his hands on rookie mode.
The reason I'm excited is because this is what we've been waiting. We have been waiting for this type of energy, right? Dillon Gabriel.
This wasn't subtle. This wasn't gradual. This was instant pressure, instant noise, instant panic. Overnight, the rumors exploded. Front offices started whispering, group chats lit up, and suddenly people around the league were asking the same question. Are Gabriel's days already numbered? Was this the moment everything flipped, or is the chaos in Cleveland only warming up? Either way, this stopped feeling like normal football fast. What's happening in Cleveland feels less like a season and more like a messy streaming drama. Helmets, shoulder pads, and weekly plot twists included. Gabriel's Browns run is starting to look like one of those short series that gets canceled before the storyline ever breathes. 1 minute, you're the guy. Next minute, the credits are rolling. And stepping straight into the spotlight is Shedeur Sanders. Confident, calm, and locked in like he'd been waiting on this exact moment. Cleveland didn't just want him, they needed him.
Cleveland reporters finally asked Dillon Gabriel the narrative that's been spinning around his name. You know, he processed the information completely better than.
After that first start against the Carolina Panthers, fans were already talking reckless, acting like the statue plans should be sketched out before he even finished setting up his locker. It almost feels poetic. Except instead of sunsets and romance, it's pigskin, touchdowns, and the sound of Gabriel's trade value dropping fast. The Cleveland Browns gave Shedeur the start, and he didn't just show up, he showed out. Carolina looked completely lost, like the defensive meeting got skipped entirely. This wasn't just a win. This was a quarterback clinic on how jobs change hands in one afternoon. Meanwhile, Gabriel's been grinding all offseason.
Short, so
Well,
I don't think any teams really thought that he was going to.
They said the floor was a long-term back.
I guess I don't. What's the controversy here?
Wait a minute. Now, I know he was the first overall pick. Kyler Murray's real short, too.
Yeah.
I mean, can we be somewhat respectful of the guy's height at some point? I'm sick and tired of talking about the guy's height all the time. Yes, I know he's not tall.
Kyler Murray, I think, is way more.
Fighting through camp, trying to prove there was still something left in the tank. But football doesn't wait, and momentum never asks for permission. The brutal truth is this. Shedeur just showed his engine runs like a fully charged Tesla. Gabriel's looks more like that shaky emergency light in an old '98 Civic that's been blinking since halftime. You can grind all you want in practice. You can talk tough in meetings. You can flash effort and win drills. But when the lights come on and 70,000 people are locked in, the real quarterback rises. And Gabriel? Yeah, Cleveland's front office suddenly has their phones turned all the way up. This shift isn't being hidden anymore. Reports are flying that the Browns are listening to trade calls, and everyone knows exactly what that means in NFL language. Smile for the cameras. Deny everything publicly. But if a real offer hits the table, they're listening closely. This is no longer a "we believe in both guys" situation. That chapter is closed. This is Shedeur as the future and Gabriel as the past. No soft landing, no slow transition, just urgency. People around the league are already comparing talent ceilings. Kyler Murray is way more talented than Dillon Gabriel, is being said openly, and the message couldn't be louder. Somebody make an offer before the bye week hits. And all of this traces back to one game. Shedeur Sanders stepped into his first start like he'd been running the league for 10 years. Calm, accurate, surgical.
The look test in the NFL. What's he look like in a pocket? Is he going to get swallowed up when people are around him to where he can't see down the field? right? That's where Shedeur Sanders plays big in the pocket. He plays bigger than his size, and he's got a magical way of finding the right spot within the pocket and the soft spot to make throws down the field. So that's why you like him there. But, man, I'm interested, too, how this plays out, right? I really am. I mean, and Dillon Gabriel, how healthy is he with the hamstring and all of that?
He had Carolina's secondary confused, lost, and auditioning for a blooper reel. He wasn't just completing passes. He was slicing defenses with precision throws that drained confidence from the sideline. Every drop back had the crowd buzzing like something big was about to happen, and most of the time, it did. Meanwhile, Gabriel was stuck on the sideline with that 1,000-yard stare, the look of someone who just realized their Netflix password stopped working mid-episode. He battled all camp, fought through every rep, and now he's watching a rookie turn his job into a full-blown highlight reel right in front of him. That's the coldest reality of this league. No grace period, no sympathy, just results. But credit where it's due. Shedeur Sanders walked into one of the toughest quarterback situations in football and didn't blink. Playing quarterback for the Cleveland Browns isn't light work. Cleveland fans have serious quarterback trust issues, and honestly, who can blame them? They've watched so many QBs cycle through that half the fan base stopped learning names and just called them the guy. That's the history.
Either Dillon Gabriel week or Kenny Pickett week. And I'm not sure which one, and I'm not sure how excited I am about one of those weeks, but mildly intrigued about the Dillon Gabriel week, if that's what this is.
I just thought we were going to continue on with Shedeur Sanders week.
I think I'm good after yesterday.
Which was going to turn.
But Shedeur's debut didn't just win a game. It shook something loose inside that fan base. For the first time in a long time, Browns fans actually started believing again. That alone is wild. We're talking water into wine levels of disbelief turning into hope, and the front office sees it loud and clear. They can't keep pretending this is an open competition anymore. It's not, and truthfully, it never really was. Shedeur is the guy, and that decision is written all over the building. Now let's be fair, Gabriel isn't bad. He's just standing next to someone who makes good look like it's no longer enough. That's the harsh truth. In this league, solid doesn't survive when special shows up. The Browns already know what time it is. If the phone rings with the right offer, Gabriel might be packing his bags before he finishes his post-practice Gatorade. Timing is everything in the NFL, and Cleveland isn't sentimental anymore. They've been burned too many times for that. Even the defense feels the shift. Guys are chirping more in practice because they finally trust the offense to stay on the field. That changes everything.
Earn them. He showed that he was a first-round level talent out there, not a fifth-rounder. The whole thing has just been beyond ridiculous at this point. He is a first-round level talent that teams just did not want to take a chance on. They didn't want to deal with him and everything that came with his brand. And now after that performance, he is the entire world.
It's like when a new hotshot employee shows up at work, and suddenly the boss wants their opinion in every meeting while you're still holding last month's coffee order. The locker room knows who the future is. And let's be clear, Shedeur earned it. His first-year performance wasn't just solid. It was the kind of tape that keeps defensive coordinators up late at night. Rewinds, notes everywhere, stress levels high. He read coverages like he had the Carolina Panthers playbook memorized. And those deep balls? Smooth, effortless. Like he was out there vibing while defenses panicked. Those throws felt like postcards to the secondary saying, "Wish you weren't here." Gabriel, meanwhile, is stuck in the worst spot possible, watching Shedeur carve up Carolina while knowing the league just took notes. A lot of teams might be thinking, why trade for Gabriel when we can draft our own Shedeur next year? But this is the NFL. Quarterbacks are rare collector cards. Even the ones that aren't perfect still have value to somebody. There's always a coach out there convinced they can unlock something. And that's exactly why the Browns keep smiling every time the phone rings. If Cleveland moves Gabriel now, they might squeeze real value before his stock drops any further. Wait too long and suddenly you're giving away assets instead of gaining them.
But there is something that you have to consider here. Shedeur is known to be the more accurate quarterback, and he was always running for his life. That's something you have to think about. He did not have the same offensive lines that Dillon Gabriel actually had.
Browns fans already picked a side anyway. Social media is flooded with Shedeur highlights, fan edits, slow motion replays, and even wild photoshops of him holding the Lombardi Trophy. The man's been in the league for 5 minutes, and Browns Nation is already mapping out parade routes. Meanwhile, Gabriel memes are starting to circulate. And yeah, they're not friendly. You know it's rough when your name trends for reasons that have nothing to do with big plays. This doesn't mean Gabriel's career is over. Let's not go that far. But it does mean his road might get a lot more scenic. Different stadiums, different locker rooms, a lot more visitor sidelines. When someone else balls out harder on the biggest stage, that clipboard starts feeling heavy. And let's be honest, this wasn't close. Shedeur didn't just edge him out in practice, he outshined him when it mattered most. So now everyone waits. Will Cleveland pull the trigger before the deadline?
We are finally back with some more Cleveland Browns training camp following their first preseason game in Carolina, and that means we got to see some more Shedeur Sanders. And man, did he look good in his first preseason action. And that means that it's time to give Shedeur more.
Will a desperate team come calling with draft picks and a "we still believe in you" speech? Or will Gabriel stay right where he is, watching Shedeur from 10 yards away like spotting your ex across the room with her new partner? This is Shedeur Sanders' team now. Everyone else is just sharing the building. And for anyone still calling this a competition, bad news. When a rookie walks in and turns your offense into a highlight factory while you're holding a clipboard, that's not competition. That's succession planning, and the plan is already moving fast. Cleveland found their guy. The Carolina Panthers got embarrassed. And Gabriel? He's got some serious thinking to do, and maybe a few boxes to pack. If anyone believes this ends with him magically reclaiming the job, that's pure wishful thinking. In the NFL, when the hot hand shows up, the old hand usually gets shown the door. Shedeur didn't just win a game. He won the locker room. He won the fan base. He won the future of the franchise. Gabriel might still be in the building, but the message is loud and clear. Written in big, bold letters. Shedeur Sanders is QB1, period.
Drafted in the 3rd round. Okay. How did the idea that he could go that high fly under the radar? Question mark. I've heard Gabriel crushed his meetings with teams, and many saw his floor as a result as a long-term.
And honestly, it might be for the best. Nothing says welcome to the league like taking someone's job in your first start and making it look effortless. If Gabriel's offseason felt rough before, imagine how it feels now. All that grinding, all that sweat, all those "I'm here to compete" speeches. And the biggest highlight ends up being a mention in a quarterback controversy clip. All those training camp reps, all those ice baths, all that effort, just to watch Shedeur step in and fire lasers against Carolina while flipping the depth chart upside down. And here's the part that really stings. Shedeur didn't just play well, he played with swagger. That's something you can't fake. Gabriel might have held his own in drills, but confidence like that only shows up when the moment doesn't scare you. Shedeur walks into the huddle like he's ordering dinner at a 5-star restaurant. Calm, smooth, and fully in control. His first NFL pass looked like it came from someone who's been doing this forever. You could feel the stadium shift the second he stepped on the field. Fans were buzzing before the first throw. After the first touchdown? Forget it. Fantasy team names were changing in real time. Browns fans have seen flashes of hope before, but this felt different. This wasn't luck. This was domination. The Panthers' defense looked helpless, like they were trying to stop him with paper towels. And somewhere upstairs, the Cleveland Browns front office was exchanging looks that said everything. Well, that solves our quarterback problem. But solving the quarterback problem for Shedeur created a brand new one for Gabriel. Because now the trade rumors aren't whispers anymore. They're loud. Obvious. Practically flashing on billboards across the league. Cleveland isn't going to announce anything. Of course not. NFL general managers live on optimism. It's the same energy as buying a beat-up car and saying, "Nah, I can fix this." Sometimes it works. Most of the time the mechanic wins. Still, give Gabriel credit where it's due. He hasn't quit. He keeps showing up, keeps taking reps, keeps doing everything he can to stay in the conversation. But the problem is, Shedeur isn't giving him an inch. Every clean throw widens the gap. Every touchdown drives the point home harder. What used to be called a competition now sounds more like a formality. Cleveland has made its choice. Shedeur Sanders is the first option, the right option, and honestly, the only option if this franchise wants to move forward with confidence. Gabriel's just hoping the next jersey stitched with his name comes with a solid cafeteria and a decent win-loss record. And that's where this chapter ends. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to like, share, and comment your thoughts below. Do you think the Browns made the right call? And don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss the next one. We'll see you in the next video.